Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Pan the Organizer. So today, I'm testing a new product that I have never tried before, and it's the YumCars Glass Plus. What is this? Well, this is a glass sealant or a rain repellent for the exterior windows of your vehicle. But what does that do, Pan? Why would I want to apply a rain repellent to my glass? Well, to make it safer and clear when you're driving in inclement weather, especially when it's raining outside. So you'd go from a glass or a windshield, for example, that just sheets water and accumulates water, so no real hydrophobic properties. The water just sticks to the front of it, creates that kind of buildup, and that will leads to glass that is not as clear, especially when you're driving again during rainy times, compared to a protected glass with either a glass coating or a glass sealant, basically a rain repellent that will allow to give you hydrophobic properties, so that water is going to bead up and sheet a lot quicker. And just with the movement of the air when you're driving on the road, it's going to repel the water and fly it right off the glass surface, thus increasing the visibility, making it safer for you when you're driving in rainy conditions. So it is pretty awesome. This today, we're going to see, is it any good? So there's glass coatings out there, right, that can last up to a year. Typically, those are ceramic based, but there's also glass sealants. So this one here, the durability claim from the manufacturer is roughly 3 months. So you're going to tell me, yeah, this won't last as long as a traditional glass coating, but the benefit of this is the decrease in price, right? This comes in at just under 20 USD at the moment of this filming. And by the way, don't worry, I'll include the links to all the tools, products, and equipment in the description under the video for you guys to check them out. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Also, quick disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video. Nobody paid for this video. However, Nick from YumCars, the owner himself, was kind enough to send me this for me to test. So I'm giving you my first impressions today. So yeah, what is it? Well, again, it is inexpensive. So you're getting at least 3 months of durability on the windshield. On the side windows and the rear glass, you're probably going to get close to a year, more in that line, because there's not as many abrasives, right? They're not being hit up front like the windshield does. They're not exposed to wiper abrasion. So your wipers, they wear down any type of coating over time. So you have to manage your wipers when you're having a rain repellent, because you don't want to affect its durability long term. However, not only is this inexpensive, you're getting 50 milliliters out of this in the bottle, but also it's the ease of application. This is very simple. As you're going to see in the demo, by the way, we're going to do this ourselves, and it comes in a beautiful package just like this. I love the packaging. Very simple instructions, so nothing complicated. We're going to go over them together. Don't worry about that. And in the package itself, you get the bottle of the coating, and you get this new finger style microfiber applicator, which is perfect because you can just slide that in there in your hands. You have that pocket and you go to apply on the glass. Again, we're going to do all of that together. All you need basically to apply this is the coating itself. And at the end, they highly recommend that you use Yum Glass. This is their glass cleaner to kind of break the tension of the surface of the coating after it hazes or after it cures for you to remove. You can remove it without this if you want to. This just makes things easier. And that's basically it. You don't need much. So very inexpensive entry point to getting a rain repellent from a very good company, by the way. Salutations to Nick, fantastic person. I met him in person a few months ago, and we had a crazy good time. If you don't know about YumCars, by the way, because they've recently been imported to the USA and introduced to North America by the House of Rags. So yeah, we met with the owner. We had a fun time demonstrating and using and testing a bunch of his products, and it's a legit super high quality brand. So what we did for preparation today was pretty simple. I was washing my girlfriend's vehicle, and on the windshield to prep it. You can either, if you feel any crusty stuff on there, if you feel contamination, or it feels kind of a rough texture, you can clay the glass, obviously, if you want to. I like to use a cheat code to prepare glass, because there's a company called Soft 99, and they have this here. They call it the roll-on compound or the glass compound. This basically has a felt applicator up front, and it has kind of a polishing abrasive inside there. So all you do, very simple, shake the product up. Of course, once you cleaned the surface, right? So I washed the vehicle while it was still wet, while the water's still on there. You squeeze the bottle, and then in circular motion or up and down, left and right crosshatch as you want, you polish the glass manually. That's all you need. Once you're done doing the entire glass surface, you rinse off. It rinses pretty easily, and that is it. Your glass is prepped. So if there was any remnants of a previous coating or a previous sealant or a previous rain repellent. This will take care of it. It also helps to remove some light to medium kind of water spotting issues, line scale accumulation. It kind of deep cleans the glass chemically as well, all while removing the impurities, because this can act kind of like a clay plus kind of polish at the same time, right? If you have any light scratches that you need to remove, or you need a deeper cleanse, or perhaps some of the minerals from water spots started to etch on the glass and leave some permanent staining kind of thing, or you need a deeper cleanse, you can always go the route of a actual glass polish with your machine polisher. So some of the good ones that I really like, CarPro Seri Glass, which is a glass specific polish, and you have this one from PNS. This is the Clarity Cream. So this one here, once again, restores glass, removes water spots, prep polish for coatings, fast and effective, so they both work well. And if you're at the point of needing a dedicated glass cleaner, it'd be best to pair them up with a glass polishing pad. Now, what's the difference compared to pads that you use for the paint? Well, first of all, if you look at the profile of this, look how thin this is. You see how thin? So it's super thin. Why? It's to transfer more energy from the machine to the glass, because glass is a much stronger surface compared to paint. So you can transfer a lot more energy without damaging it. And this is a rayon-based glass specific pad. So rayon is a different material. It is very stiff and it's kind of more abrasive on there. So you're getting a lot more transfer of energy and you're going to be doing a much deeper clean. And this is if you have like medium to heavy water spots, this is the type of polishes and pads that I'd recommend. But in this case, the vehicle is in very good condition. The glass had no real water spotting on it. And so all I needed to do is kind of a chemical cleanse and a light polish with this, just to make it stripped off of anything else that was before there. Again, regardless if it was a drying aid that you were using, a ceramic spray sealant, another coating, whatever it is, you got to get your surface bare right. Anytime you want to apply a surface protection, you want to make sure you prep the surface correctly. So once you're done rinsing this off, you dry the glass and you're ready to go with the actual demo itself. So I'm super excited to do this. Let's dive into it so you guys can see how easy or how complicated this is. We'll find out. All right, demo time, guys. Very simple. Again, look at the instructions. I love how super simple they are. So clean the glass thoroughly, of course. So we did that. You can clay the contaminated or non-smooth glass first. And of course, we did that too. We're going to pour a few drops of Glass Plus onto the applicator that's provided. Apply in an up and down, left to right motion. So that's the cross hatch to ensure proper and even coverage. We're going to let it cure for 60 seconds. And then we're going to spray a fine mist of the Yum glass cleaner onto the surface or onto a microfiber towel and just remove the residue. And that's it. Good to go. There's no curing time after that. You can drive in the rain, in inclement weather. It doesn't really matter. So here we have a fresh bottle, of course, of the Yum Glass Plus. Always shake your chemicals well before you use them, so this doesn't change, especially for these sealants or coatings or things like that that are in these glass bottles. You want to make sure that you distribute the product in there. So we're going to crack the bottle open. There we go. We're going to distribute this onto the surface. So we're not really counting how many drops. We just want to get even coverage on there on the applicator. And I mean 50 mils, you get a lot for your money. So now we're going to see how simple this is to apply. So up and down, we're going to box this first. I can immediately see a little bit of sweating on the surface. So some of the common questions that I asked the owner as well to make sure that we understand and get the technical information straight from the horse's mouth is, what is the lifespan or the shelf life of this product once you open the bottle? Because this is a non-ceramic type product, this is just a standard glass sealant, it's pretty much infinite. So there is no shelf life. Once you open it, you can use it years down the line and it's still supposed to be super effective. So that's one of them. The next one, obviously, is there a curing time before you expose to any water or rain? And the answer to that is no. Now we're just going to apply one layer of this. I think it should be enough. But if for some reason you want to apply a second layer, on the website, they mention to wait 6 hours between layers. So keep that in mind. So we're boxing this once again. So you simply do cross hatch, up and down, left and right. What you want to do, like any coating or protectant is to ensure proper and even coverage. So an even layer, making sure that you haven't forgotten any spots on there. So the applicator works super well. The application is very simple, and it's going to be the removal that I'm interested in, because some of these glass coatings, you really have to struggle with them. And so there we go. I can already see the hazing. In my case, by the way, I work in a controlled environment. So this is 68 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius and 45% humidity. I have a dehumidifier. I have a heat pump, so I stay heated and cooled. But according to the owner himself, you can apply this even in direct sunlight. You can use this outside. There's no ceramic in there. There's no polysiloxanes, nothing of that nature. So it shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't streak or build up on you. It should be a pretty straightforward application. So on this side now, I see that it is pretty much dissipated. So for some people who always ask me, now we have to wait the 60 seconds, right? But for glass coatings in general, when people see wiper judder, so that means the wiper skipping on the surface when you applied a rain repellent, sometimes it's not always the chemical. Don't forget, glass, just like paint, has hills and valleys if you look at it through a microscope, and it has the tendency to absorb a lot of that product in. You're not necessarily getting a nice and even layer, so sometimes you need a second layer applied on top. So keep that in mind if you have wiper judder. Try to apply a second layer when you clean the glass and reapply another layer a few days down the road. Also, once you applied this and removed it, although you can drive off any elements if it's raining immediately, there's no curing time. Still wait a few days before using any chemicals or you rewash your car. I normally, for any coating or rain repellent, things like that, I like to wait at least a week. I think the owner said 3 days, Nick from YumCars in this case, but don't take any chances. Wait 7 days before you rewash your car or use any glass cleaner or things like that. And yes, for future maintenance, you can use your traditional glass cleaners on a rain repellent, rain coating, or a glass coating or glass sealant, should I say. That's absolutely no issue. So we're done with this. We're ready to start breaking that surface tension with the Yum Glass, their glass cleaner, and we're going to be using the Diva glass towel from the House of Rags, a fantastic one at that. But you know what? Let me try and do something special and apply immediately another layer on top of the initial one. I just like to test stuff. Of course, always follow the instructions. That's not what the instructions say. They say to apply a second layer 6 hours later. But what I want to do is see if we can have any absorption right away on there. And again, just in case you forgot an area, this can help with getting proper and even coverage. With this one, I can be a lot quicker now because I know I was pretty diligent with the first one. I want to see if there's any negative effect to doing this. So we're having fun. This is not a scientific test by any means. And obviously we're going to want to look at the hydrophobic properties once all of this has set in, because they should be pretty amazing, right? So up and down, left and right. So we're seeing that beautiful haze. And let's see if this complicates the removal. So yeah, when I hear glass sealant compared to a glass coating, yes, you're getting less durability out of a sealant. So in this case, approximately 3 months on the windshield, of course, depending on your wiper use. The cool thing though, is you can apply other layers 3 months later. So that's what they recommend, is to reapply every 3 months. But the process is very simple. You don't need to polish the old sealant off in this case. All you do is clean the glass. So wash your car or just clean the glass with a glass cleaner if you want. Make sure the surface is clean. Now, if it's crusty, if there's contamination, you can clay it if you want to. But if it feels smooth, you do not have to clay. That's not necessary. And you just reapply a new layer. So clean glass and reapply a fresh layer. That's it. It's that simple. It has that cross-linking technology, which allows the next sealant layer to bond to the previous one and cross-link, and you're kind of building those layers over time, so it should be pretty simple. So now it's been at least that 60 seconds of curing on the surface. So we're going to do as they recommend. We're going to take a glass towel. We have the Yum Glass, it says the glass cleaner. They say to lightly mist the entire surface, so let me go ahead and do that. And that kind of breaks through that initial layer, according to them, and makes wipe off easily. Do you need to spray it with Yum Glass? No, you could just use a microfiber towel if you wanted to. So I'm going to put a few spritzes on the towel here, and that's pretty good. Well, see, that's why it's good to follow the instructions, because they usually spend a great time with their chemists making sure that the user gets an amazing experience. So this just flashes off super, super nicely. And then I have a second clean and dry towel. This is the Mr. Twister by the House of Rags, by the way, to just do that final buff and remove any lingering residue. Wipe off could not be any easier. This is, and I could feel the slickness immediately. The glass was grabby because there was no protection on it, right? You saw it in the footage. It was just sheeting water. And now, yeah, that's pretty good. So let's do the other side. I love it when products not only perform well, but they're also easy to apply. That's, for me, is one of the biggest progress that I've seen in the last 2 to 3 years, especially, is product manufacturers, myself included, with the Clean by Pan the Organizer lineup, is we want to make the user experience as good as it can possibly be. So it's not only the performance that counts, but the user shouldn't have to struggle when they're applying the product, right? So let's wipe off any residue with a second cleaning glass towel. That was effortless, absolutely effortless. So make sure you look at your glass from different angles and that you wiped everything. And that is it. And technically, it can get wet right away. So you know what? We're going to test that right away and look at the hydrophobic properties. So let's first start with the pressure washer, and then I'm going to switch to just a shower style nozzle to see the difference. So let's start with the pressure washer. That is very, very hydrophobic. The water just slides off. We're getting these tight, round water beads. That is nuts. Let's do that once again. Let me bring you in for a close-up. All right, let's try the shower nozzle now with no pressure. So the pressure washer power is turned off. This is just the water flow. Look at that. The water just sheets off super quickly. I think it's pretty evident on camera. Again, let me bring you for a close-up, and also I'll make sure to link this kind of shower head nozzle for your pressure washer gun. But have a look at this. Just have a look at that water sheeting speed and those droplets. Look at that. The water's just dancing on the surface. Water just won't stick to the panel. Look at that. And it's almost bone dry. There's not much water left on that surface. And to dry the glass, you can use a blower at this point if you want to, or just your drying towel if you don't have a blower. And it's going to be a breeze, absolute breeze. Just glides effortlessly on there. So what did you guys think of the Yum Glass Plus glass sealant or rain repellent. I think it's pretty awesome. The performance speaks for itself. The application, absolutely easy. The price, on point. Very inexpensive for a rain repellent, and you're getting a lot, 50 mils. I barely used anything. I can't tell because this is a frosted, but I feel the weight, not much has changed. You saw how very little I used. So I can imagine I can do reapplications like this every 3 months, or if you see that the performance is still going good, you can wait longer. You'd only reapply if really you see a diminishing performance of the hydrophobic properties. So if you're not seeing as tight or as round water beads, or it's not beading up as much as it used to, you can just clean the glass, reapply a fresh layer, wait 60 seconds, wipe off, and then boom, you're good to go. Other than that, for regular weekly maintenance, just use you don't need a crazy super hydrophobic topper on top. Just use your drying aids. Typically, as you're drying the vehicle with your microfiber towel for lubrication, that's all you need. So you can either use something like the YumCars, the detailer, or the Clean by Pan, the organizer quick detailer. Just whatever drying aid you're using is more than enough. You do not need to top off the protection, which is something I really appreciate with this kind of stuff, right? We just want the performance of the product itself giving us the ultimate results. So yeah, again, I'll leave the links to all this stuff in the description under the video for you guys to check everything out. If you've tried Glass Plus, let me know. How long does it last for you guys typically? Again, this is not meant to be a super long term because there's no ceramic in there, but at least 3 months is what the company kind of promises or gives a quote of as far as their durability claims is concerned. But again, application was so easy. If you've always been scared of applying a glass specific coating, don't be. Like, this is as simple as it gets. And you saw even the prep. If you're using the Soft 99 Glaco roll-on, you can polish and like chemically deep clean the glass in a matter of seconds. You rinse that off, dry the glass, apply this, boom, you remove it after 60 seconds and you're good to go. You can drive off in the elements. As you saw, I sprayed water on it right after the application. Absolutely no problems. So yeah, big thumbs up. Again, shout out to Nick over at YumCars. Absolutely fantastic products. I'm happy I tried this. And of course, I highly recommend it because it just works. If you guys had an experience with this, let me know, drop comments in the comment section. And if you want to do a deeper dive perhaps on how to polish glass, if you have some deeper water stains or you just want to use a glass specific polish with a rayon glass pad, I'll have that linked in the description as well. It's pretty simple once you know how to do it, but that's kind of like the ultimate glass prep, right? Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more awesome content. And in the meantime, don't forget, keep it tight, keep it clean, and I'll see you on the next one.